You are listening to the Cattle Call Podcast. This is the place where computer-aided design and drafting meets humor and practicality, with a touch of business acumen thrown in for fun. Jim and Rocco, the owners of Zentech Consultants, the premier U.S. technology consulting firm for architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing, discuss the fascinating world of CAD with some humor and some honesty. The Cattle Call Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cattle Call Podcast with Jim and Rocco from Zentech Consultants. I am Jim, your resident CAD and technology geek, and with me is my partner and co-host.
Hello, it's Rocco.
It's Rocco. That's all. Just Rocco, because he doesn't tell you people what he does, but that's okay. If you figure it out, let me know. I've been working with him for years, and I still don't know what he does. All right, I have that on tape now. He does nothing. All right, but luckily we have someone with us today. We have a guest in the studio who does a lot. We have Julie Keverian, the customer success specialist from BricsCAD, is back with us again. Thanks for being here, Julie.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It's not really, but we appreciate that you lie to us like that. Thank you so much. Help us feel good about ourselves for today. So Julie is in the studio here today because we want to talk about what's new in BricsCAD version 22. All right, and it just came out, and we're going to talk all about that today, which is awesome. But Julie, before we get into today's topic, why don't you remind our listeners what a customer success specialist does, and how do you interact, and where do you get tied in on the new releases of the BricsCAD product line?
Sure. So customer success specialists, we do a little bit of everything. We provide demo presentations to prospects who are looking at BricsCAD. We assist when companies maybe are doing a trial of BricsCAD, and we even assist customers after they've purchased with technical questions. Internally to Bricsys, we are also helping the sales team during the sales cycle, answering their questions. We do work with development to sometimes give opinions on how a new feature might be shaping up or testing something, and of course also working with the marketing groups. So a little bit and a lot and a lot and a little.
There you go. So you're definitely keeping you busy, but it's nice you get your opinion listened to. I mean, I give my opinion here all the time, and Rocco just ignores me. So
well, we give our opinion.
See?
I don't always take our advice, but at least they ask.
It's good that they ask. That's a good thing. So, yeah, I mean, it really is, because it's folks like you who are dealing with the clients, you get to give the direct feedback as to where the problems lie and what people are really looking for. So that's great. All right. So,
and especially if something comes up with an account or a customer and we can't figure it out from our team, we can meet with the developers and see, okay, no, it should do this, or you're right, it's not doing that. So the developers are really quite responsive.
Yeah. And I will absolutely give that to BricsCAD. I haven't done, as a BricsCAD reseller and having to work with you guys pretty regularly, your team is way more responsive than, some of your competitors, we shall say. I've spent a lot of years working with them, who will not be named, and nowhere near the responsivity that we get out of the BricsCAD folks. So that's a very, very good thing. So, all right, folks. So the new release, version 22, was released just this last week, during the BricsCAD Digital Summit, right, which is a global event that showcases all the new products every year from Bricsys, and it keeps users and resellers and other interested folks like our loyal listeners out there in the loop on where the software and the company is headed. Now, I definitely want to talk about all the new features in the version 22 system, but I wanted to kind of talk about the Digital Summit first. Mm-hmm. So Julie, how did the summit go for you guys this year? What were the kind of the must-see events, right? And more importantly, how do our listeners access those if they didn't get a chance to attend?
Let me answer the second part of that first.
Okay.
You can watch the summit on demand. Just go to our website, Bricsys.com, www.bricsys.com. Scroll down that homepage a little bit, and you'll see a big blue button that says Watch the Summit. At first, you'll see, it's very easy. And you'll see all the main stage segments that were broadcasted. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see all the breakout sessions. There's about 20 breakout sessions that were not aired originally during the summit, but they are online and ready to be viewed as well.
Nice.
So very easy to do. I'm still trying to get through all of them myself. I think as the must-see, I like watching the main stage presentations to get that broad view, like you said, of where we're going, where we've been. And there's a lot of great information in there. And then, I don't know, it's just too hard to choose. They're all so exciting.
That's good. That's good. So I guess it all went pretty well. You had a good turnout. You had a lot of, I know it was entirely virtual.
Yes, it was. It was entirely virtual. I think we had a much bigger audience this year than we did last year. Last year everyone was the first time doing our digital summits around the world with everything going on. So yeah, we did really well this year. Had great attendance. It was really exciting.
Good, excellent. So Rocco, I know. Unlike me, you actually had a chance. One of us actually works for a living, and one of us had a chance to actually attend the summit, which was you. What were your thoughts on the summit this year? How did it come off?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I like the fact that it's virtual. You don't have to travel halfway around the world to for a one-day summit, and you can pick and choose what you check out. I think there's a lot of motivation behind it all. So if that's the right word to use, but I like the structure, and I thought we were talking before the podcast, right? I mean, there's always new features that are being added in, and a lot of new features. So I hope we didn't just lose audio, because it sounds a little funny on my end. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear it. Hiccup there for a minute, but our listeners are patient with you. They know that you're, technology challenged, so they'll be okay with it. All right, good. And I will say, I absolutely love the fact, Julie, that they've actually made it all available after the fact, right? Because there were just times, like guys like me, I was just busy those days. I had client work to address. And I will be, heading back and looking at those and learning all the new stuff. So I love the virtual concept and the way it works, that you can attend those breakouts after the fact. So I'll be doing that too. So, all right. So let's start with kind of the general improvements to the BricsCAD system first. I know that there were a lot of kind of, under the hood types of updates with this version. And I realize for our listeners, right, that's not always the most glamorous stuff, right? No oohs and ahs with that, but the reality is when you're improving speed and reliability and efficiency, that has a much greater impact for CAD people on a daily basis than all the cool new tools, even though it's not as much fun for us to talk about. So Julie, what were the big back end kind of updates to V22?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those under the hood improvements are so important. So there are several big things. I'll just talk about a couple. We've started the process to convert our dialog boxes to a new tool. So they're going to look different. They're a little sleeker. They're a little more modern. They give us some more advantages. I don't know all the details because I'm not a developer, but they look great and they work well. We've also enhanced performance. Of course, we're always looking to improve our performance for speed and efficiency. Something else that we've done is we've really strengthened the BricsCAD engine so we can extend to other platforms for third-party development. And this is all being driven through improvements to Blade, which is our list programming environment, as well as .NET and VRX interfaces. But, the performance enhancements are in 3D direct modeling, overall graphics performance, the BricsCAD text editor. So quite a bit, and I've just kind of skimmed the surface there.
That's a lot of stuff, and it all works faster and better and smoother, and that's always a plus for everybody. So I also noted there were some really, really nice improvements made to the core 2D based drafting system of BricsCAD. And again, there were a number of additions to the different versions, like the BricsCAD BIM and the BricsCAD Mechanical. And one thing you've done, you've added a lot of new civil and site capabilities as well, which is important to me, to the basic BricsCAD Pro system. But before we get into those, right, let's talk about just the basic core drafting system first, right? Then we can get into the industry tools and kind of the second half of the podcast today. So let's talk about that, Julie. What are your favorite updates kind of to the core CAD system?
We've made a lot of improvements to some existing commands like Blockify, Copy Guided, Move Guided. as well as the optimize command. So some of those things with copy guided, we can now use copy guided on 3D. So we can use it for 3D. Yeah, 3D
That's
solids.
awesome. I did
Isn't
not
that
know
cool?
that. That's very cool.
Yeah, or block references using reference faces of your choice. So that's exciting. The Optimize tool, all kinds of new features in that because we now support P-lines, curves, and also 3D again for Optimize. Overkill, we can combine duplicate block definitions so it'll purge out those duplicate blocks. So
And we all always have those.
Oh, right. So these go for speed, they go for decreasing your file size, which is also always very important.
Yeah, no doubt. Keeping it tight is always a key to it. So those are nice. I was very, very, very happy to hear about the copy guided for the 3D because in 2D, copy guided it's like the best CAD tool to come out in 20 years. Right, the fact that you can just copy items from one wall to another and have it break and seal, and those copy and move guided items are great in the 2D world. And if you can do that in a 3D environment with a true 3D BIM model, that's amazing. That's incredible to be able to do that. I love that. All right, so you go.
Oh, there's one other one that I wanted to mention, and we call that our fuzzy copy guided. It allows for a fuzzy insert guided. So if you're copying a door into quote a wall that's, the lines are a certain thickness, well, you can make that fuzzy. So it would work in, a wall that's 6 inches or a wall that's 10 inches at the same time. So making it fuzzy gives it a little bit more flexibility. So you have more instances of using that copy guided or move guided as well.
That's really cool. Yeah, because previously you were kind of restricted to, if you had a 10-inch wall, you had to copy to a 10-inch wall, right?
Exactly.
I love that concept. That definitely will make it easier. I can now copy from anywhere to anywhere. That's perfect. So, all right, so let's take a quick break to hear from today's sponsor, and then we'll be back to talk more with Julie on the V22 release of BricsCAD. So we'll be back in just a minute, folks. Stand by for more of the Cattle Call Podcast. All right, everybody. Today's episode of the Cattle Call Podcast is brought to you by ZenTech Consultants. That's Rocco and I. We're bringing ourselves to you. Aren't we nice? So we wanted to talk to you guys today about some of the things that we offer at ZenTech Consultants. In particular, we wanted to talk to you today about our offerings around developing and upgrading your CAD standards. We are here to help you guys with all of your CAD standard needs, from ongoing drafting and design support to block and library development, full CAD standards development, right? CAD version upgrades, really whatever it is that you guys need when it comes to developing and implementing and tweaking your current CAD standards. Or like I said, if you don't have any yet, we can help you build them from scratch. So Rocco, why don't you tell all the good folks how they can reach out to us and start that conversation?
Yeah, there's a lot of information, people, on our website, zentechconsultants.net. That's ZENTEK consultants.net. Or you can give us a call, 866-824-4459, or even drop us an email, sales@zentechconsultants.net.
Ooh, nice. CAD standards from ZenTech Consultants. You're listening to the Cattle Call Podcast. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Cattle Call Podcast, where we're talking about the release of BricsCAD V22 today with Julie Keverian from BricsCAD. And in this half of the show, I want to get into the new tools and features, all the good stuff. And the ones that are more industry specific, I guess we'll call it, and how they can benefit our listeners' workflows. Now, since I am a civil geek myself, why don't we start there? BricsCAD has actually been developing some really, really great civil tools in the last couple of releases, and I understand that they've gotten even better this year. So Julie, what new goodies has BricsCAD given me to play with on the civil end?
Oh, there are so many. You're going to be very happy.
Woo.
I think some of the biggest changes are around the alignment command. The workflow was really completely redesigned. There are new options, so you can, and new options and new commands as well. There's alignment vertical, alignment 3D. There's a new method for creating horizontal alignments, so you can create alignments by elements like a line or a curve, or from a horizontal alignment element constrained on one side by another element, or constrained on both sides in between. So a lot of improvement along alignments, new ways of creating vertical alignments. Stations can be set and changed as desired as well. And
Nice.
we've done some improvement on importing alignments via Land XML or Civil 3D.
Nice. Now, I heard a rumor on that. Just a rumor. Is there some improved compatibility in file open and save with Civil 3D?
I believe there is. Yes, I do believe there is.
Nice. Listen, for those of you who are listening out there, right, who, if, particularly I know there are still a lot of firms out there who use, base 2D vanilla style AutoCAD, and they do civil and survey work with it, which God bless you for doing that. You're looking for just a better, faster, easier package, especially if it can actually open and work directly with like Civil 3D files you get from other firms. What a huge benefit that can be to take a lot of the load of those crazy expensive Civil 3D platforms and kind of work in the BricsCAD world instead.
Yes, so there's a new option that is added for importing Civil 3D that allows you to import or convert the Civil 3D entities directly from the current drawing.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a game-changing addition. That's outstanding.
And also with Civil Points, we've made a lot of improvement on the Civil Points. There are new commands for managing your points, and for creating Civil Points, you can create groups. You can edit the groups. There's attributes. So in addition to that, there are properties now that you can have the point number, the point name, the raw description, things like that.
Oh, that's awesome. See, so that handles it for all you surveyors out there looking to import your field collected data. BricsCAD can handle it in the basic CAD system without having to have an expensive vertical. That's amazing. That's great. So awesome. So yeah, at least while we're on the civil topic, though I guess it's not exclusively civil by any means, I understand that version 22 has a lot of upgrades and changes to the point cloud processes, right?
Yes.
Which is becoming just so much more important in the construction and design world. So what can we do now, Julie, that we couldn't do before with point clouds?
Well, one of the kind of what I call the interoperability between civil tools and the point clouds is with a tin surface. One of the improvements is you can create a tin surface from a point cloud.
Wow, I like that. I like that a lot. And
I
don't want to go too deep into it because I know civil is not your world, but you wouldn't happen to know if those stay dynamically linked. So if there's an edit to the point cloud, does it automatically update the surface?
I don't know.
I would imagine
Sorry,
it probably
you got
does,
me.
but I thought I might on that one. That's kind of a geeky question, but no, that's an awesome tool.
You don't want to guess because I don't want to guess wrong.
Yeah, no problems.
All right. Also, though, in point clouds, we can now pre-process those point clouds in a standalone manner, so we don't have to be doing it at the time, as we're pulling it in, and we can do it off to the side. We can also compress our point clouds. We can draw inside of the point cloud bubble if we've got our multiple scan points. We've also added geolocation support for the attached point clouds.
Ooh,
and of course, we've
big.
given the ribbon a separate tab just for the point cloud tools. And we've also introduced some deviation checking. So if you've got a scan of a construction project and you want to make sure your slabs are level, we can do some deviation checking based on that point cloud.
Wow, that's fantastic. Those are some really, really nice upgrades. And a lot of folks are going to really get a lot of mileage out of that. So, Rocco, what do you think? I mean, how important do you think civil and point cloud updates are for our clients? I mean, do you think there's folks out there who've been struggling with other, really expensive civil CAD systems that maybe want to make a move to BricsCAD Pro to get this functionality?
I do. I do. I think that it is an important area. In fact, I've been trying to talk internally with Bricsys about doing a webinar around how BricsCAD handles point clouds. So stay tuned for those of you who follow our emails or listen to our podcasts. Definitely stay tuned because we'll keep you in the loop on that. But at a broader level, right? The important thing about BricsCAD for a lot of people is the ability is the fact that BricsCAD is available as either an annual or a perpetual license, as standalone or network, and the competition does not offer standalone licenses anymore or traditional network licensing. So it's a big selling point and a lot of point a key thing that a lot of people look for.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean it's huge, and then to get the ability in the basic CAD system, right? That's like you said, you get that annual license, you get the network license. It's a lower cost, and all those tools that you normally have to buy another add-on or go to some big collection of 40 items you don't need. It's all in one simple CAD package that works with normal DWG files. That's I love the civil upgrades and the point clouds. It's an amazing thing to me. So so the last big item that I wanted to talk about today are the upgrades to the BricsCAD BIM tool. Listen, to my mind, BricsCAD BIM, it is the most user-friendly 3D modeling and BIM creation tool on the market, hands down. And honestly, it needs a much wider adoption, folks, than it has seen so far in the U.S. I mean, even a knucklehead like me can create crazy, accurate, and highly detailed BIM models with this thing. It's so easy to use. So Julie, what do you have for our listeners on the BIM side of the BricsCAD world?
Oh, that's another big area where we've been busy. Again, just to name a couple, we've introduced version control of your model. So you can very easily save different versions of your model and go back and use that or revert back. So that's nice. Back to kind of extending the platform, Rhino Inside is now available to design like parametric geometry in BricsCAD BIM. We've got a direct link to Twin Motion, again, right built into BricsCAD BIM.
I've been waiting for that. We in the older versions, we've done Twin Motion. We actually did some webinars that we talked about here on the show a couple of times. It was kind of a manual process, but now that it has a nice direct connection, that's
Yes.
outstanding.
Yes. We've also added Python scripting, which is again available in BIM. So you can run scripts to extract data to, say, create schedules or things like that. So all of that, again, speaking to extending our platform. But also a lot of update to the project browser again. So this really is going to give good management tools for our project data and drawings. It's really now is truly the central repository for all of our BIM project data. The more is stored in the browser. We've got your templates. You can even store your Python scripts in there. So that's new. We've also improved, now have these typed plans. We started those a little bit in version 21, but again, completely kind of rethought how that worked. It's much easier to create your typed plans and save them as well. You can save them with the project or as a sheet.
Amazing. I love it. Like I said, I love that you guys are constantly upgrading and making better, right? So we were saying before the show, unlike some other folks out there, BricsCAD has never just put out we made the colors in the background dark and light mode. There's your release for the year. Thanks for your money. You guys never do that. You always bring the real every time you do the upgrades. So, okay. So
also on that note, though, I do have to say that we've improved our ability to import those other models from that other software. So our importing of those models now is also much better.
Excellent. That is a big thing, right? Because people are always concerned about transition. They can look at, this is a better product, and I can see that it's a better product with BricsCAD, but we've been using that other thing for 8-10 years now. How do I take all my existing work and bring it forward? And any ease of the transition, that makes it a lot easier for folks. All right.
Yes.
So, all right. So last word here, right? I'm going to give the last word for today's show is going to go to our guest because I know, Julie, that there are even more cool things happening out there in the version 22 release that we haven't gotten to today. So what are your picks? What other features and tools do you want the listeners to know about?
All right, something that again has been improved in BIM, we have the propagate tool, but now we can define a search area for that propagate to happen. Before it was always looking at the entire model. Now we can narrow that search space down. Then more on the core side, we have a first release of our CAD standards checker. We've also got support for digital signatures.
Really? Very nice.
Yes.
Things. I like that. Particularly the standards checker. That's so big. That's such an important add.
Yes, and it can be run in batch mode.
Very nice. That's even better, right? When you can run it against multiple files at once. That's beautiful. Oh, you imagine you can just go into your entire project and just open up 400 drawings and say, just go in and find all the dumb things that people did to this drawing while we were working on it back and forth. That's amazing. Ah, nice. Anything else?
That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, and I know,
there's so much in here. There's
There's a ton of stuff. There really is. And I will say to the listeners out there, right, there's a whole, we didn't even touch on it because it's just not really our market. There's a whole mechanical version of BricsCAD out there that had a whole ton of version 22 upgrades as well. It's just not an area that Rocco and I really get into because we work primarily with the AEC folks. But if you're interested, that's out there as well, and we can always hook you up with that. So, all right, we can kind of end it up in here. And I think, first of all, I just want to thank you, Julie, for being here. Once again, Julie is always a great guest, and she's a trooper for putting up with Rocco and I and our silliness. So, Julie, we really appreciate you being here today.
She's a trooper for putting up with you.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing that. You're absolutely right. I'm the annoying one. So, yes,
always
thank you, Julie.
Pleasure. Always my pleasure.
We appreciate it. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here, and we will catch you next time on the Cattle Call Podcast.
All right, everybody. Today's Cattle Call was brought to you courtesy of Zentech Consultants. That's Rocco and I. Zentech Consultants works with design and manufacturing firms to help our clients purchase and implement the software that they need in these complex industries. We provide a single point of contact for clients to buy, develop, and learn the most vital software systems for your specific needs. Zentech strives to be your trusted technology partner from your initial needs all the way through long-term support and training for your entire staff. So Rocco, why don't you tell them how to reach out to Zentech?
All right, yeah, you can reach out to us through zentechconsultants.net. You can email us at sales@zentechconsultants.net, or you can even call us 866-824-4459.
Excellent. We look forward to hearing from you all.